where are the extraterrestrials coming from? What do you refer to them as? These people that you're in contact with.
They're observers. They're observers, and they're not observing only this planet. You know, they're observing different planets also, and they're helping into the, how should I say, evolution process of the life force that inhabits planets, if you will, right? So, as I mentioned, I came to this planet with one purpose, only to help into the transition period. And that is why I was putting information out in the public just for people to understand the bigger picture of what this is all about, where all this is heading to, and that actually we are facing something magnificent. So if you go back, or just distant from the subject for a while, you will see that in the past we are seeing huge civilizations, great accomplishments, and the trees were growing bigger, if you like. The insects were larger, the sea life was bigger, and we obviously witnessing at least 5 body sizes of humanoids, some of capable of telepathic correspondence, telekinetic influence, levitation, and so on and so forth. So the atmosphere was bigger. The bigger atmosphere means more prana into the atmosphere. More prana means more DNA abundance. So whatever took place, actually we know what took place, but that decreased the whole quality of life. And the atmosphere is not so huge anymore. It's just little atmosphere we have today. Trees does not grow that big, and sea life is had shortened, if you will. So the whole quality of life had degraded, and we had degraded only to this double helix of functionality, or just 3% of active DNA
This,
potential.
this is something I looked into a few years ago, and from memory, and I can't remember the scientist's name, but I think it was the hyperbaric chamber that he created in order to replicate the
Yes,
environment.
that's
Is that right? Yeah. And
yes, that's
this is why, say as an example, a mammoth is so much larger than a modern day elephant, was to do with the levels of oxygen and other elements in our atmosphere. And it's depleted. As it's depleted, things have literally gotten smaller. And he was able to recreate the atmosphere of thousands of years ago, and again, things grew incredibly large. So it
yes.
explains these skeletons of giants and the prehistoric animals that we've got.
Yes, that's correct. We have an answer for that, because when some of the scientists had went to Antarctica and were digging into the ice cores, they found like clean ice, and then like a dirt, and then clean ice, and then dirt, and they actually found elements that are abundant in cosmic rays. So it was a major cosmic event that hit Earth in the past. It was not just nuclear conflict that we are also witnessing everywhere around the world, but also there was a huge cosmic event that took place, and iridium and nickel were found, also gold and beryllium-10, which is the radioactive isotope found in the superwave or nexus, if you like.
So you've been in contact with just the one ET race since you were a child, or many?
Many. It's like a jungle. When you enter a jungle, you can see beautiful birds, animals, flowers, butterflies, so on and so forth. But you can also see tigers, spiders, and so on and so forth, right? So when you enter the next dimension, closest to ours, if you like, you will encounter all sorts of activity, all sorts of life. Some are positive, some are completely neutral, avoiding any contact, and some are completely beautiful, loving, and helping, if you like, right?
So the
So I've
knowledge
been
that you've gained over the years and that you share and teach has come from direct personal experience through things like astral traveling, astral projection, and communicating directly with these groups or races.
Yes, that's correct. There is a misunderstanding between people at this stage, because they just classified the extraterrestrial groups only as Greys, Reptoids, Nordics, and few others, and that's their domain of perception. In reality, it's not that simple. We are facing more than 3,000 species that are present on Earth. Some are here even longer than the human species, so which drags the question, which planet is this? Is it our planet, or species are here longer than humans? So what I'm trying to say, those species are living underground inside the oceans, and most of them are capable of multidimensional presence. Because if you go out and you see at the sky, you will not see anything. But if you introduce infrared cameras or night vision cameras properly adjusted, you will see objects that are moving very, very fast, information, and projecting beams of light, lasers, and so on and so forth. So that applies same for the astral travel. Because now most of the people are operating only in 3% of active DNA material, but when they reach the astral space or astral dimension, if you like, with fully conscious, this 3% increases. And
Can I
just
just
go.
interrupt you for a second? I want to get clear on something. What you're saying is, I mean, there's obviously a lot of talk about ET races from other planets, from other galaxies, who are visiting or who have a vested interest in us here. But what you're talking about are races that we share planet Earth with on both a third and fourth dimensional
And
aspect
higher. Yes,
and
that's correct.
higher.
Yes,
So these are beings that call Earth home as well.
yes, that's correct.
Wow. Why are we
Look,
not more aware of them? Why are we not working with them, or are we on some higher conscious level?
first, if you don't mind, I would like to finish the last sentence.
Sure, sorry.
The moment when we enter the astral dimension, right, we start to see all those UFO activity and all those extraterrestrial beings that are there. We cannot see them with the physical eyes mostly because the five senses limitation, but when those five senses are overcome, you are able to see all that activity. So what I'm bringing is the first hand information. Most of the people there that are leaders of esoteric groups are just reading books, just exploring the internet and saying things that they cannot prove. What I'm trying to say is a lot different than what exists on internet, and it's a public opinion. In reality, we are just one race of so many, and this, what you are seeing now, is nothing more than just a vehicle. These biological bodies that we have are nothing more than clones. Why I'm saying that? Because we had found evidence researching the similarities between people. So you have a twin from 500 to 5,000 individuals, if you will, that looks very similar to you, not just similar in physical fashion, but also capable of certain, how should I put it, performances that are good in some way and not so good in other directions, if you like, right? So it's always, it's obviously a biocomputer, a host that is receiving information through the DNA. And just I will give you just plastic example. If the patient that has a heart transplantation, before that operation, he was not able to do any musical performances. When the heart transplantation was completed, and the patient, after a few months of recovery, had become well again, he started to experience extreme talents with music, playing violin like a professional, something that he was not able to achieve before, or to paint, or whatever the case is. That is simply because the DNA had decoded the codes from the previous owner, if you like. So sometimes it can just decode the memories, the energy, all kind of codes, if you like, that are implanted into this biological computer. So the James Cameron with the movie Avatar was very, very close on the target when he was depicting those biological hosts. So this is only one part of us, if you like. And we are infinite consciousness. We are very, very, very intelligent life force that can be present in many dimensions, or it has multidimensional existence, if you like. In order to move through all those different dimensions, it needs suitable body that has suitable density and suitable speed of vibration, if you like. So I use this biological body to manifest my intelligence. If I order to lift my right arm, I just use this body to manifest. If I like to manifest on the other dimension, I use the subtle body that is less dense, and the speed of vibration is higher, if you will, right? So I will use some other subtle body. So this is entitled to all human species, if you will. But the problem is that event that happened thousands of years ago had degraded these abilities and had put only a low quality of life. So the event that is approaching very soon is going to change all that. It is going to reactivate it, all that 97% of dormant or asleep genetic material that will increase the quality of life again. So we are facing something phenomenal, not something to be afraid of. So despite that I mentioned, there is another important issue that I want to speak about: DNA. When a human body actually dies, that does not necessarily mean that DNA is completely destroyed. The consciousness needs the DNA because through the DNA actually it has access to all the subtle bodies. So to be present in the dimensions that are further away from the astral dimension, it needs more suitable body that are less dense and where the speed of vibration is even higher. So the only thing that is destroyed with the physical death that people are familiar is the harmonic that matches the physical part of the DNA. DNA is also antenna and is also picking up the signals at the moment that are coming through the sun and also from the galactic center. So this biological body has 8 radioactive elements that are mutating at this particular time. Every time there is a crack in the magnetosphere, new particles stream into the planet and are batting, in fact, the whole life of planet Earth. So we are experiencing a mutation to more or less degree. If you like, depends of what we consume. If we consume, let's say, meat or fish, our vibration is very low and we cannot mutate that fast. Or if we consume fluoride, aspartame, and many other E-codes, pollutant, and so on and so forth, this mutation slows down. The slower the mutation is, the less time the consciousness has to adapt to the changes that are approaching, if you like. So for record, my perspective is that we have absolutely no right to kill no animal, no fish, anything that has a life force in it, because we are fully capable of existing without those, how should I say, foods, if you like, that we consume. And the only thing that we are doing to ourselves is that we are injecting our DNA structure with the virus, with all those emotions that that animal or fish had faced in the moment of capture, of death, or slaughter, whatever it was the case. So that is all passed to us. And we are affecting our whole biological structure, our auric structure, with completely black fogs, if you like, that are staying for a long time, causing not just physical anomalies, but also astral diseases and so on and so forth.
But can't the same be said for fruits and vegetables? They certainly have a life force of their own as well. How do you
That's correct.
differentiate?
That's also correct, but in the scale of consuming meat and fish, this is completely different level that we are talking about. I personally consume all that you're saying, plus butter, milk, and so on and so forth from time to time, right? But in reality, the less you consume all that and you just put yourself to raw food, that leads towards a complete independence of consuming any kind of liquid or food and going into what is known living on prana, if you like, or life force. But in order to do that, you have to separate for a while from this ordinary matrix. You have to go to the nature to do a lot of how should I say, combining with the nature, or to tune into meditation, exposed to the sun particles and so on and so forth, right? So that is the next step that actually humans will face, because more and more people are starting to realize that we have no right to violate Earth, if you like, and everything that lives on it. because it's not our planet. This planet belongs to the animals and forest and insect, the same as belong to us, right? So what I'm trying to say is that we need to turn back to the ways of the nature, right? We understand now who is playing the games behind the so-called illuminated ones, right? What is the purpose of their agendas and how we can get out of this, right? So at the end of the day, it's all there because of one purpose: filtration of the life force, right?
If I can, I'd like to go back to the other races that we share planet Earth with. As they have such a vested interest in preserving this planet as well, do you know what action they're taking? What are they doing in order to get through the next 2 years?
They will be building the Flower of Life shield. If you go to Egypt, to Abydos temple, you will see that there are 18 Flower of Lives, not just two, because previous people didn't get the access to the temple. But the latest photographs are showing the 18 Flower of Lives, if you will. So every Flower of Life consists of 19 spheres, 7, then 6, and then 6 again. So why 18? Why not 19 when it's logical that there is a 19 Flower of Life that is missing? That's the message to us from the ancient times. We need to build our Flower of Life or our frequency. So 19 positive-oriented races, if you wish, will be joining forces in order to create this shield to reshape the magnetosphere. So the magnetosphere will be compatible with the codes of the energy that is coming from the galactic center, if you like. So I can go only to the limit level into this, because you have to understand that this conversation is monitored and listened, right?
Okay. Yes. Um, it's my belief that this sort of phenomenon of chemtrails is actually to create an artificial shield around the Earth to prevent exactly what you're talking about, us and the planet absorbing the energies that are coming to us from the sun and from the galactic center. And that you could call it a positive side effect as far as those in control of this are concerned, is that it's making people very, very sick. But I don't believe making people sick is its primary or first objective. I believe it's a shield in order to block these frequencies. What's your thoughts on that?
When we are at the subject of the chemtrails, it's a huge subject, and it cannot be just put only to poisoning or just shielding the particles coming through the magnetosphere and not allowing the mutation to take place fast enough. Some chemtrails are just put there to eliminate certain kind of half etheric forms that are like parasites, if you like, right, that are streaming through the magnetosphere, because we are not static in space. We are moving very fast by pull of the sun right through space, and as we go we encounter all kinds of half etheric creatures or existence, if you like. And some of those creatures are threat to the biological welfare of humankind, if you like. So there's little information that gets streamed out into the public, what actually they're doing. It's very similar to the HARP. Whatever things are going on, usually people blame it on HARP. It's a weather modification, Tesla weapons, Star Wars weapons, and that's where actually everything circulates. In reality, HARP is used to stabilize the Schumann resonance, if you like, right? Because not all the activities that HARP is doing are into negative perspective, because you have to understand that some of the technologies that were developed were designed to deal with cyclones and tornadoes and many other stuff when those things will occur in the near future as a result of this huge celestial body that is very close to our solar system and the huge magnetical influence from the approaching energy, if you like. So I will just comment on this. When they start to send cosmonauts into space, they notice that people start to loosen it. They start to lose their memory, who they are, and they have difficult time to navigate the equipment. First it happened to one cosmonaut, then to a few others, and then in NASA and in other organizations, space organizations, they realized that something is jamming the normal functioning of the biological body and the brain the further they are from the planet Earth. So they understand that actually the magnetite that exists inside the brain and inside the spinal cord is the cause of it, and the further away it goes from the magnetic influence from the planet Earth, the less functionality biological body has. So they started to put to mimic the Schumann resonances inside the space shuttles, and now the cosmonauts are just functioning fine. So there were rumors that Schumann resonance is increasing because our solar system is changing. But when you go and check the astronomical observatories, you will see that Schumann resonance is more or less stable. It has actually 7 frequencies, but 7.83 hertz is the nominal frequency, and that nominal frequency is kept stable by HARP facilities and other antennas everywhere around the world in order that we function properly. Otherwise, if this is off the default value, if you will, we will start to experience increasing in blood pressure and so on and so forth. And another important thing about these technologies, and they are combining antennas everywhere around the world to create a shield also, because they know what is coming.
Today being a rather auspicious day according to the Mayan calendar, it's the 9th of March and the day 1 of the 9th wave, the final wave of the Mayan calendar, which goes until the 28th of October. Excuse me, this year. So what do you believe this cycle is all about? What do you think we're going to see over the next 8 months?
If you go and explore the data that arrived during the last few days, you will see that there was a huge crack in Earth in Peru, in Bolivia, and in Philippines, and many other countries with the earthquake. So the tectonic plates are moving. The Christchurch in New Zealand was affected for the 2nd time, and it's certainly not going to be for the last time. The Vanuatu volcanic activity is incredible lately during the last 2 months or so, and there is an earthquake there not below 6.7 every day or so, So it is also obvious that the planet Earth is already influenced by the gravitational pull from that celestial body that is very close to our solar system, and from the magnetic influence from that approaching energy. And they had to repaint the marks in Tampa airport recently and in Florida, because the north magnetic poles were shifted 10 degrees, if you like. So it's all happening because of this shift of the magnetism, if you like. Dead birds are falling down, and animals and fish, because they also contain magnetite that is connected with the magnetic ley lines of the planet Earth. And the moment this becomes malfunction, if you will, or dysfunctional, in better terms, these things appear. So we are facing completely a changing in the life species on Earth at this stage. But on the other hand, there is a shift in consciousness. So the consciousness is generating more data. The old models of understanding are falling one by one, and the new understanding, the new input, the new information is coming forth. So it was a process. It started with the hippie movement, and then it continued to cosmic energy and to many other, how should I say, layers or filters that people went through until they reached this time frame that they are capable of assimilating some real good quality data and to understand what is smart to be done. So in my perspective, it's all part of the cycle, nothing to be afraid of. But you have to keep an eye what actually is going to be played by the other sides, if you will, because it's not just the positive side that is present on Earth. There is obvious presence of the negative force that has a complete different agenda, if you like, and this negative force that does not originate from the physical dimension. It goes way beyond the physical dimension. It controls a certain amount of extraterrestrial species, which had implanted the whole political and military establishment with micro devices known as implants that can transmit and emit electrical impulses, if you like. So everything is controlled like people had noticed in the last 20 years, right? But that's not the important. What is important is that we understand that we are not this biological body, and that new energy is approaching from the galactic center that will cause the evolution of the DNA, and that evolution will actually bring back all the memories of all past incarnations, if you like, will bring back the cosmic knowledge, how the cosmos works, and all the powers of the consciousness. When that is complete, everything will be solved, because we will be free, if you will, right? Most of people will say, look, I'm free all the time, but like I said, many people are claiming things without proper experience. When you go to the astral dimension and you are seeing what those extraterrestrial ships are doing during those takings and so on, there is completely different how should I put a picture, from the one that exists on the internet, right?
The beings that we share this planet with, do you feel that they will make themselves known to us publicly on a global scale, make an announcement, so to speak?
Lisa, if you go to YouTube, you will see many good quality videos. So it's all there. Even the shadow government, if you want to call it in that way, is not hiding information. All the information is there on Soho websites, on YouTube, in many other websites. If you just had to go pick it up, combine the pieces, and that's the reality you're facing, right? So publicly they cannot pronounce this, because this manipulation that went a very long time back, has come to the point that people are not receptive to any new information. You tell them that we are not alone. The religious questions are first that will come into the table, from Islam to Christianity and so on and so forth. So many people are still not ready. But these energies that are coming are influencing everyone, so there is a shift from inside. So those consciousness will actually be awakened, if you like.
Yeah, well, it is my understanding that this ninth wave between now and October will be a period of mass awakening globally.
I agree.
And I feel for those who are yet to have an awakening, because they've got a lot of catching up to do, so to speak, and it will. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to digest. And
Yes.
although those who have walked before, I believe, have cleared a path to some degree, Okay, so if we're spending this year waking up and getting ready, what are we getting ready for? What are we really going to get ready for? What's going to happen next year? What is December 2012?
That's good question. So let me explain my perspective, if you allow me. The solution that there are races that are trying to help, and they're trying hard. Some of the races are delivering those genuine crop designs in the crops. Between Eisenhower and other, how should I say, people, and those times there was a treaty that they have signed with the extraterrestrial groups, not allowing any further interference from other extraterrestrial groups. That was one in the clause of the agreement, if you wish. But the other groups are aware of this, and they are trying to help us indirectly, in which means by sending us intelligent messages through the crop circles, phenomenon that people refer to as crop circles, and by communicating with people that have enough activated DNA potential to pick up their transmission. I'm talking about either telepathic communication, or either meeting on the astral level. So there are plenty of people that have these abilities, but they keep their distance because the shadow government, if you want to name it, are keeping track of every of those individuals that has the potential to communicate directly with extraterrestrial existence. So once you enter 7.83 hertz, if you know the procedure how you can communicate directly with the planet, the consciousness of the planet Earth, because this planet is alive and everything that lives on it is part of that living pulse, if you will. So it breathes prana. There are openings on the poles that are contracting and expanding, and this is done in fashion how sun is producing radio waves. So it's all of the rest of the planets are doing the same. So whoever has the astral capability to go up there, he or she will actually immediately notice these openings that they are blocking, if you will, in Google Earth and other softwares, and they're preventing this information to go out. And inside Earth is very inhabited, if you like, and many advanced civilizations are there, if you like. So all those civilizations are also monitoring the pulse that are coming from the center of the Milky Way. And everyone in this galaxy is on high alert, because there is nothing more powerful in this universe than this pulse that is spreading fast. And it's very near us at this particular time point. It's only around 10 billion miles from us. That's the giant magnetic ribbon that was discovered lately by the ibex in the upper part of the heliosphere, if you like, or the protective bubble of this planetary system. So what I'm trying to say, we need to turn back into the nature, and we need to unite into meditative oneness. In 2007 and 2008, I started a thread with the name 2012 Nexus event, unknown form of energy comes our way. So from that time to now, it was downloaded by more than 2 million people. And we organized planetary meditations. Thousands of people worldwide were meditating in order that we combine our power of consciousness and to positively impact the fractal structure of this matrix, if you like. It started with that, and it was my intention to take it further, but I was stopped by certain factors, if you like, and I had to retreat for a while, if you like. So it doesn't matter. This is progressing towards the decoding the messages that are arriving through the crop circles, the genuine ones. And you can tell the difference between the man-made crop circles and the genuine ones by that if you leave the crop design uncut for 20 days or a month, you will see that the crop inside the crop circle had grown at least 20 or 30 centimeters higher than the crop in the same crop field, if you like, right? And also the stems are more healthy, bigger, stronger, because they were influenced by electromagnetic force, right? So it doesn't matter, for most of the people, they're just beautiful drawings on the crop. Without proper understanding, they're useless. So that is why I depicted some of the messages that they are saying and what is the actual message, what they try to get through. And this is very, very clear. People need to tune into the fourth chakra, or into love, if you will, right? That's always, you see the depiction of the chakra system, the 7 basic points, because there is a cerebral fluid inside our spinal cord. When this energy, if you want to refer it with the terminology as Kundalini energy, that's fine with me, awakens, this fluid starts to agitate. But as it moves through the spinal cord, through every of those centers, it's changing the consciousness in an unbelievable way. It moves directly into the brain, but it hits most of the areas that are responsible for exteriorization of the consciousness, or right entangular gyrus, if you will, that will take the next step, or the consciousness will be sent to the astral dimension, if you like. So the issue is that people get together into meditative oneness, combine their energy, and discharge, if you will, a proper energy to how should I put, neutralize the events that are taking place to some degree. And that's where all will start. So I'm putting effort, I'm communicating with a lot of people everywhere around the world, just combining the groups together, because there is a division. New Age people are just playing their, how should I say, part. People that are more technical, they're playing their part, and the other groups there. So every of those groups thinks that they have all the answers, and then everyone else is wrong. When that is on the case, we will never unite and we will never combine our energy. The issue is that we have to put aside our differences and to just concentrate on what ties us all, and to understand the big picture, if you like, and what can we do about it. So the solution is very simple. We have to understand how to create this flower of life structure and start tetrahedra in the center. And also this has to be done on the planetary level. So we have to assist the co-creation of the 19 spheres. So everyone will be building, at least those that are interested into preserving this planet. And we have to build ours, if you like, right? So that is why they had left all the instructions how to be built, how it's done. We just need to follow and to apply that in the meditation. And if the right vibrational field is there, the energy will shift and it will create actually the self-sufficient force field around our structure and also around the planet. Why we are doing this? Because people usually ask me, look, this energy that is coming from the Milky Way galaxy will free us, will regenerate our dormant material, and we will evolve. Okay, that's true, I agree. But that selfish way of approaching things is like, look, we will get out with the first train out, and we will leave everything behind us just to burn. So that's not my vision. My vision that we need to protect this planet also because it's a living entity. It provided life for us. So we are able to speak now, right? So we have to give it something back. With this flower of life structure that it will be built, at least by those that are resonate with it, will actually be preserve all 3D life. And when the sun will go into the red giant phase that I will explain a little bit further, the water in the oceans will not be boiled, because if this shield is strong enough, it will just serve as a protection, and the 3D life will stay. The evolution will still take place, so the DNA will be upgraded. We will become half etheric, at least those that are willing to stay on the 3D reality, and all the rest will actually ascend, if you will, right? But it's not simple as that. As you can see, people are dying every day, and the process is ongoing. There is a game that is playing every day, if you wish, and that chess game is very important. How every player is playing. The only way that the dark side can win is that if they remove the life force into the subtle bodies away from this approaching energy. So this DNA mutation is not done. If that's the case, that means that we will stay with only double helix functionality, and that's how should I put it in cosmic terms, is very low quality of existence, and very easy to manipulate if you wish. So that's their primary plan, and first is the stopping of the mutation process. That is why they are targeting us with genetically manipulated food and with other stuff, just to slow down this wave of awakening that you are speaking about. And when things actually come to the critical point and we had not achieved that flower of life that is everywhere on the ancient temples, and that it was left for us as a message from the ancient times, from the ancient cultures, if you like, it's not done, and the catastrophes do happen when the life force will go out of this biological body. They will be an easy target for the negative ones.
You just expressed something that has just been something of a revelation for me over the last few weeks, because one of my many questions was, if the illuminated ones, if the powers that be know what's coming and they are preparing for it to the degree where they have built such vast underground bases to protect themselves, and they clearly feel that existence on the surface will cease to be.
Yes.
If they believe that so strongly, why are they going to so much trouble to take out as many people as possible between now and December 2012? Because they really seem to have amped things up.
That's a good question.
And I believe, I just realised really what it was, which is if they can get you to die prior to awakening, prior to being activated, so to speak, then essentially what you said, which is you're still locked into what I call the rinse and repeat cycle of third and fourth dimension, or the matrix that they control.
Yes, first I want to point out that they are not ones that are running the show, because they're only the human part of that hierarchy, if you will, right? But there are steps above them that are actually running the show. And at the end of the day, it's the all-seeing eye that controls everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a most powerful entity at this time frame. And whatever happened in the past, it created that great void, if you like. Because if you go back and study the Tibetan Book of Death, the Egyptian Book of Death, they're all speaking about similar stuff. How to safely pass that great void. That great void is only a blockade from the, how should I put, codes that are coming from a very far away, if you like. It's like a divine energy that is blocked. It's just hitting a blockade that cannot reach us. But when this energy will pass, this blockade will be removed. So the dark force will fail. What I'm trying to say, they had built underground world, and it's not news. They have retrained this information 60 years ago from the NTIs that they got in contact with. So there are no differences between the countries from the political point of view. It's all a game for the, how should I say, ordinary viewer, right? In reality, on the top, there is a unity between them, and they're part of the same body. So the only way that the only reason why they are doing this, because those negative forces want to keep this life force we have locked for a long time, and they have no intention to make us free, because they completely know what this energy is capable about, right?
Yeah.
Capable of, right? So, but look, Lisa, it's okay. It's all part of the process. Usually, people say, "Look, I don't want to know. I want to just follow law of attraction. I just want to think of beautiful flowers and so on and so forth." But there is a limitation to that view. Usually, say, "Look, people, if you do not think, it's not part of your reality." But I will tell this, go in New Zealand, in Christchurch, and tell those people that it's not part of their reality. Go in Bolivia, where those cracks appeared, and tell them that this is not happening. Go everywhere where all those anomalies are occurring and say that it's not happening. By taking our look away or turning our back away from this is not going to solve the problem. It's just going to get worse. And when it comes to the point, we have all wasted this cycle. So many entities will lose the chance to ascend, if you will, or to get back to the cosmic source, if you like, in cosmic way of existence, right? So what I'm trying to say, people need to understand first what the game is all about. That is why I had created all those ebooks, just to show them at least some point of reference, and they can do additional research and combine dots even further, right? So when they understand how the game is played, they can make the proper steps. The first step is that you do not actually get in fear anymore. You understand what the purpose of the other side is, but you also know that there is a light in the tunnel, and everything will be okay if you just follow that path.
Yes, getting stuck in the fear is, well, the worst thing you can do, because you're feeding that paradigm.
Absolutely. The problem or the fear comes from this source, losing the 3D body. That's the basic problem and basic fear accumulator, if you like. And that's what most of the religions have done to the people, that they do not understand the real complexity and the beauty of our existence, if you like, right? We are far more complex, far more powerful than those religions are telling us. One other thing that I want to stress out, because many people had a difficult time coping with, about 30 seconds we have to move out of this system. So let me make myself clear to the public about that question. It was put there and was clearly shown at least 3 or 4 times that it is just in case. So I have been outside the biological body on the astral dimension, and I have seen what they are capable of, what they're doing, and it takes around 30 seconds so they can actually locate the astral form in present somewhere, right? Most of the time when they're doing their alien abductions, if you like, they put the astral body, the consciousness in the astral body out, and they abduct the physical body, doing all kind of tests, sperm extraction, and so on and so forth, crossbreeding. It depends of what kind of group is taking the abduction and what is the agenda, right? So they are doing this because we are limited. We have only double helix awareness. That is why we are almost like excuse me my language, but like a sitting ducks. When this DNA activation will take place, that will be no longer possible to take place, because we will regain our powers and awareness and consciousness. We will not lose consciousness anymore, and that cannot simply continue. So that's the worst nightmare for the other side that are using the human species like a kind of reserve or like a food supply and so on and so forth. So obvious there is a conflict between positive extraterrestrial groups and negative extraterrestrial groups. So it's more like a war in heaven, if you wish. So some are trying to help hard, giving us the information, trying to remind us what we need to do, right?
I just wanted to ask you, do you believe that next year will be a gradual process of people waking up and ascending, or do you see it more like a wave of rapture at a particular time?
I will just comment on that with this: the crop circles, the crop circle makers are optimists. They do not do anything for granted, and if there is no chance to be accomplished, I'm optimist too. That is why I'm putting this effort in the last 20 years, explaining issues that are complex in the first look, but once that you understand them, they're very simple. So when we understand these mechanics, we can actually use the potentials we have, and if we combine those potentials, we can make a huge difference. Just take, for example, the research of Dr. Emoto, right? So his research had shown a lot of new, how should I say, perspective and dimension of research, because if our emotions can influence the water molecule, and if that water is frozen and put under the microscope, it can show different crystalline structure, depends if the emotion is positive or negative. Mm-hmm. So that research had led to, are we receptive, or are we transmitting the same stuff to the other 5 elements, if you wish, right? And it turned out the same. So that's the same message that the crop circle makers are showing us, that we can influence the fractal structure of this matrix or hologram, if you will, 3D hologram, with just our emotions. So it's very similar to this. You go and walk, let's say, on the street in the city. So as you walk, you start to hear a song that you haven't heard for a long time, let's say 20 years ago, right? And that song reminds you of some great summer holiday, great experience, and so on and so forth, right? And you have not heard that song for a long time. And all of a sudden, in your heart, there is like a expansion. You know, you just change and you start to emanate, you know? Mm-hmm. And for everyone else that is walking along you, they stay in the same frequency, in the same vibration, because this song does not mean anything particular to them. But for you, it's a whole world, you know, it's the meaning of your life, you know? So imagine if millions of people come together into the same state that we are talking about, and they discharge this kind of energy into the matrix, what kind of impact we'll have. So in order that we create these 19 spheres of flower of life, what the positive NTIs are referring, we need to put ourselves into this state. So how we do that? Simple. Use music. Use Celine Dion. Use something that is emotional, something that can change the vibrational field in couple of minutes or a couple of seconds, depending on how sensitive the person is, right? So there are tools, there are means that can be used by people if they're open enough. First is to become aware of what they're consuming, right, to avoid any consumption of the fluoride, aspartame, E-codes, of course, to avoid meat and fish, and to stay more into the positive way of nature, and then more into the meditation groups. And those meditation groups will spread, and at the end it will become so powerful that it can be accomplished. So if we take that path, we will make it. If we do not take that path and we will still continue to consume Coca-Cola and watch aggressive movies and so on and so forth, just follow the program in the matrix, things will turn out in very different way. So at the moment, things are happening. Part of the humanity is separating, is starting to be, how should I put it, responsive to this kind of information. It can be felt from inside if the inside substance is ready, if you wish, right? And that awakening is happening in larger scale because, like we mentioned, there were particles that were detected that are coming from the sun that were now never detected before, and they are causing mutation into those 8 radioactive elements that this biological body has, right? So it's all good. If you go back, and you will see that all those ancient civilizations had left a lot of structures that are very hard to build with, even today, at least in the main domain, right? And they have left records, they have left calendars, and so on and so forth. And most of those calendars are pointing to this time reference. What I'm trying to say, it's exactly accurate, the Aztec and the Mayan calendar. So it's actually not their calendar. They had took it from the even prior to them, Olmec, and from the Atlantis, and even from the entities from the stars, if you wish. But the knowledge is accurate. It's far more accurate than the one Gregorian we're using today. So it's saying that Mayan long count calendar, is actually also a sunstone calendar. So why sunstone? Because it's counting when the sun is going to do a reset point, which means that this energy that is coming from the galactic center, or the Sagittarius A star, if you wish, from the scientific point of view, it will hit the sun exactly on 23rd December 2012. It will not just hit the sun, it will also pass through us and through all the rest of the planets in the system, and it will continue further because we are not special. This energy is spreading everywhere in the Milky Way galaxy towards the edges and even beyond. And as it touches the sun, it will cause a nuclear reaction. That fuel of the sun is spent much more rapidly. And that nuclear reaction, if you like, is going to cause our sun to move from its main sequence into what is known red giant phase in astronomy.
Red giant, did you say?
Red giant phase, that's correct. And that's where the core of the star collapses, right? And actually, it's very simple. At the moment, 4 atoms of hydrogen are burning into helium. When the helium is exhausted, it starts to burn carbon. When carbon starts to burn, that's where actually the fire is released. That's where the red giant phase is accomplished, if you like, because the core of the star collapses, but the outer layer swells in size, and it's still very hot. The issue is that this slow swelling will take place from December 23rd, 2012, and it will slowly go bigger and bigger until it reaches the maximum or the climax in 28th of March 2013, when the outer layer will be released into space. So that will be actually the death of the Aztec fifth sun and the birth of the Aztec sixth sun, if you like.
So just to clarify, there is a wave of energy coming through our solar system. It's going to hit the Earth and then the sun, and the sun is very literally, physically going to expand.
That's correct.
What happens to the planets closer to the sun than us, between us and the sun?
If the flower of life shield is on, the energy will be compatible. It will not destroy us. It will just bring such a light bed of light that all the dirt will be clean, and all the love and the frequency of harmony and peace will stay. So that is why you cannot fake these emotions. It's like simply like Kundalini energy. if you wake up sometimes during the night and you hear like a humming sound, like zzz, you cannot move, you cannot speak, it's like a sleeping paralysis. This is actually the Kundalini energy that is going on, but sometimes it's not strong enough to induce out of the body experience. You need to reach deep down where the love is, and if you fake this emotion, it does not work. DNA does not respond. But if it's real, if it's sincere, the DNA responds immediately. It goes stronger and higher, and when it reaches the forehead, if you like, you can just leave this biological body and be completely aware, like you are now on the astral plane, seeing your physical body lying on the bed. So what
Will this affect the planets between us and the sun? Will they be positively protected, or what will happen for them?
If this flower of life is built, everything will be okay. If this flower of life is not built, those that are ready will be okay anyway. But that's not the case. That's only a selfish way out, or selfish out of exit way, if you wish. You know, I'm more concerned about the life on this planet and the other species, so it's our responsibility. The more you grow with this knowledge, the more you understand that this game is not only about us. We are part of this scenario, but we are also part of a larger scale of life, if you will, right? So what I'm trying to say, I will be developing meditation. I will probably record a DVD with all the instructions very soon, probably in a month time or so, and I will release that to the public, and will give them the instructions so the people will actually see the logic of how the genuine crop design makers, if you like, are showing us that energy vortexes are created and where it needs to be, how it needs to be done. Because if you observe and if you see my ebook 2012 equations solved that I written recently, right, you will see that the central sphere that is completely in the center, right, has to be moved, has to be rotated or spin. That's where the electricity is produced. And with fast movement of this sphere, actually it will produce a charge that will go into the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and so on and so forth until it reaches the 19th sphere, and then through the Vesica Pisces it will go back straight to the source, to the base chakra, if you like, which is the center of the central sphere, because we are standing on it, right? And it will create a self-sufficient energy field that can stand on its own. And that's what is required for the DNA to become compatible for this approaching energy, if you wish.
Well, Pane, I want to really thank you for sharing with me
Most
today,
welcome.
and for anybody who perhaps hasn't understood some of the stuff that Pane has said or is not familiar with the terminology, then I suggest you read 2012 Equation Solved. Where can they get that from, Pane?
Yes, they can get from many places, but if they just search for my website www.paneandov.com, they will have all the information there. And there is also a DVD available, 2012 Messages from Above, that has more than 5 hours of information that goes deeper than the ones that are uploaded on the YouTube. So if someone is interested to learn more, it can also look at those DVDs and see in more detail what it's all about.
And Pane's YouTube channel is Astral Walker.
Yes, Mr. Astral Walker. Yeah.
Mr. Astral Walker. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, once again, thank you. I've really enjoyed this.
Absolutely,
I've
it was a
learned
privilege.
more again,
Thank
and
you.
I'm sure that you're going to reach a lot of people. I can feel that, and get a lot of people on board and bring people together. I mean, that's very obvious that that's what your mission is here.
Yeah, it's not something that we should be afraid of, Lisa. Just for the end, it's something magnificent that we are going to face, and we just keep on vibrating positive and connect and unite our energy, and we're going to make it, and we're going to experience something phenomenal. We are at the door of something extraordinary.
I agree with that. Thank you
Okay,
again, Pane.
all the best.